Hey guys, what's up? This is the Demon Corpse, and hope you guys are enjoying your 4th of July. And today we'll be talking about something that I've been trying to find time to do, and I'm shocked no one's talking about it. Shockingly, and maybe because it's coming soon, so it has to get past Xbox and Microsoft's terms of service. Going to like a security check, and they'll have to make sure you're not evil. I don't know, something like that. It's like that, but looks like Idea Factory is releasing a game on for the first time. This is the first time for the Xbox One and the Series X and S. They have released games on the 360, and I believe they will publish in Japan. They published it in Japan on the 360, but they did get released over here by third-party publishers. And the last game that was released here that was by Idea Factory was Records of August War Zero for the Xbox 360, PS3, and probably at some point for the Switch. When they get to that, they have released the first one on the Switch, and shockingly, they are releasing a Neptunia game, Sisters versus Sisters. It's okay, awesome. I have some of the Neptunia games anyway. I have to find a PS Vita and I have a PS3 anyway, but it is shocking. I mean, you don't see that. You don't. That was a big shocker because I didn't believe it. I was kind of like, that's not true. No way. There's no way Idea Factory is releasing a game on the Xbox platform. And I guess they're testing it out. They're testing the soil again, seeing if there's people on Xbox who like playing Japanese games. This is your chance, Xbox people. If you like playing JRPGs, because there's a bunch of people complaining we don't get enough JRPGs. Well, you do. They just get released digital only and on the Xbox ecosystem. And when people go out, to I don't know, to Target, Best Buy, or even Amazon or eBay, they see that cop. They see a game like, oh, I'll check if there's an Xbox version. And when they check, they can't find a physical copy, or it's only and they know it's digital, and they're like, I don't want to buy a digital copy. Some people are like that. I highly doubt that. I think that's changing now, but let's just say that it's kind of like that in some way. And they kind of think, oh, okay, it's digital, so Xbox got no games. Well, they do. It's just digital only because no one may buy the physical copy, and it's very few people would. But besides that, it is getting a physical release, and it's probably going to be $50, maybe even 60. I wouldn't be shocked, just because it's on the Xbox, and they're like, if you're gonna buy this game, we're hoping that you pay the $50 because if it fails, we're not gonna release another Neptunia game for maybe the next like 14 years, you could say, because it's been since 2009. So, well, no, yeah, well, 14 to 13 years, you could say ish. It's around that. It's been that long. It's been almost a decade since the last Idea Factory game released on the Xbox ecosystem. And shockingly, I'm rather shocked Idea Factory has not made those games backwards compatible. I mean, I know that you had to go through licensing, and I guess Idea Factory said no. I mean, the one thing about backwards compatibility that I think a lot of people kind of don't understand, well, maybe they do, maybe not, is that it's kind of it is interesting when companies do the backwards compatibility. And this is just my opinion on it, is that I think the reason why the Dead Space games were backwards compatible, not because, oh, the blessing of EA making those games backwards compatible, but was because they wanted to see if this game was still popular. And I think because of those games being backwards compatible, they were extremely popular. I played them on my backwards compatible on my Xbox One. I played it, I think 5 times. I actually did play the first one 5 times, and half one of those 2 times was with commentary and no commentary. And with that, they must have said, okay, man, there's enough people who like playing the original. Let's make a remake. And because every game's getting a remake, let's remake. Well, it's not a remake, it's kind of a remake remaster of the original Dead Space from 2009, but you get my point. And yeah, I think they should have done that with the Records of Archivist War games, and even the games that they've released on the 360 that were never released here, made those backwards compatible, but they probably would be wicked expensive if they were backwards compatible, you could say, but They're not like in most of the other games besides the Records of Agarest War. Well, even Spectral Force 3, that was like an RPG, and shocking that one, but probably because of licensing issues, as usual, sadly. But that's really, and the others are like visual novels, and I think some rail shooters, I believe. But yeah, the Neptunia games are made by Compile Hot, and they have the fans and the haters. For me, I'm in the middle because I kind of like, okay, like who cares? Like they're making a game they like making, and if you don't like it, don't buy the game. It's obvious. Like that's what I'm doing. I'm not seeing Indiana Jones. I don't want to see it. I don't care about it. I like the original three. I do like the fourth one. I know most people don't like the fourth one, but the fourth one had a good ending. So, yeah, I don't know. People are weird. You could say. But still, though, I would say for people on Xbox, if you like JRPGs, you should be probably paying the full price for this game. That's gonna be probably $50. Because if you don't, you're not gonna get a sequel. Well, this is not a sequel to a game anyway. I think this is like the 10th entry to the series. I think this is a spin-off, is it? I don't. See, that's the other thing. It's so confusing because there's so many spin-offs and I don't even know what's the mainline series. Yeah, they kind of messed up with the numbers on that series, sadly. But there's just so many Neptunia games that have been released on the PS4, the Switch, the PS3, the PS Vita, and now the PS5. Well, not the PS5, but it's all backwards compatible in some capacity. But still, though, it is cool that Xbox is getting a new JRPG that is, I would say, is very niche. I would say the Neptunia games are very niche. I would say though high mid. Like you see it, you're thinking, oh, that series, and then you go back to looking at first person shooters. That's literally what it is. Because most people play Call of Duty on the consoles. They don't play any other game. And that's I will fully agree with that. Most people I know just play Call of Duty. so when they so yeah, they're not going to be interested, but there are people on probably on in the ecosystem that will probably buy it digitally or physically on Xbox, or they may do the weird ass excuse, I'm going to wait until it comes to Game Pass. That's why that's why we don't get sequels to games, and that's why Mega Man Battle Network never came to Xbox, because no one bought it physically or digitally. And I will say that as well, I did not buy it brand new. I bought it for $10. So yeah, I was the problem. But besides that, will it get released? It's a gamble. It is a gamble. I will say that right now. It is a big gamble just because it's kind of in that realm of, I wouldn't say Galgun because there was a point where Galgun Returns was going to come to Xbox and got canceled because of Xbox's terms of service, and they said no to it. Weirdly, so they said no to a first-person shooter that's somewhat lewd. I wouldn't say it's lewd, but it's in the 50-50 range, but it's unacceptable. The double standards, it's so stupid, and they allow Cyberpunk 2077 that has full blown legit sex scenes, and somehow Galgun is like dangerous to children. It's gonna be the same thing with Neptunia in some capacity. I hope not. I hope it doesn't get censored. I hope it doesn't, but if it gets banned and they just say, and Idea Factory says no, we're not going to release the game because of your standards, and they just release it on Switch, and years later Xbox is going to be like, oh, we can't get games on the platform because no one buys the games or no one wants them. Well, no, people want the games. Maybe, I don't know. It's just that it's your dumb terms of service that blocks these type of games get released most of the time, sadly. And I believe the game was censored with mostly with localization. Like they had to change the localize some words in the game. Translation, I don't know. It's so stupid. And and the game was published already, and months later they added an update to fix some words. If I'm saying my R's correctly, words. It's it's so stupid. It really is. It's one of the dumbest crap I've ever seen with localization. Like the game has already been localized. It's rated T, and now the ESRB is going to Idea Factory and saying, "Hey, we messed up," and you could just said Idea Factory could just said "F off." You've already published the game and already done the localization. Well, you've already looked at the rating of the game. We're not going to change anything. They could have just stood their ground, but instead they didn't. So it's kind of like, really, Idea Factory? But I guess they don't want to face any backlash, and I don't think there wouldn't be that much backlash. I think the more the backlash was with the changing of the localization of like a couple of words that I have to look at again, but last time I checked, it was stupid. Like, I mean, it was extremely stupid. But still, let's hope for the best. Let's hope this game is successful on Xbox, and if it's and this is the thing as well, if it's going to come to Game Pass, that just tells you one thing. One, the company asked Microsoft, we want this much money if we want to put it on Game Pass. That just tells you Microsoft paid money to put this game on the Xbox ecosystem if it's going to be on Game Pass. That just tells you how bad Xbox is as a whole, as a company, and how bad the market show is in the video game industry. It's that bad that they legit shield some money to Idea Factory to put the game on the Xbox ecosystem. So yeah, you never know. You never really know what's going to happen. So it could be successful. But hey, that's all mostly about the people who complain that there aren't any JRPGs on the Xbox ecosystem. But that's about all. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And oh, if you want to support me, go to my Odyssey channel. But yeah, that's all. See you, scavengers.